Welcome to day 2 of Unveil Your Wealth Code. Yesterday we had an amazing call. So if you haven't watched day 1, I highly recommend that you go back and watch day 1. You'll get like a nice foundation for yourself. And we're actually just going to continue where we stopped from yesterday. So I think what we'll do first is just come into resonance like we like to do before we start to dive into the energy work and the numerology and all of that. So I invite you to close your eyes and just come into your body. Just come to center. Who'd we lose? Misa. No, there's Misa. We lose Barb. Okay. So just starting to come into the body, and I'm just going to invite you into your feet. So just inviting you into your feet, your toes. I invite you to spread your toes nice and wide on the floor. Get a nice solid base for your feet on the ground. Continue to spread your toes and get a nice wide footprint. If you're barefoot, awesome. I always am. So, just getting nice and grounded. I love to think about my toes. I like to think about my feet. And I want you to root in. I want you to feel your roots pushing down into the earth. So feeling the roots pushing down past any human-made materials, pushing down past the grass and the dirt and the rock and the shale and the magma and the lava. And all of those things that are in between us and the core of the planet. So feeling your roots pushing all the way down, feeling yourself maybe find a cool stream in there, get your roots in there. And just start to feel yourself grounding in. When you get to the center, to the core of the planet, I invite you to think of a stone that feels right for you. Think of your favorite stone or just the first thing that pops into your mind. And I want you to wrap your roots around that stone and imagine that the earth is nourishing your body and you feel peace moving up from the earth back into your body. Our roots are always a two-way system, the way that I see it. We are anchoring peace and we are receiving nourishment and peace and groundedness from the planet. So feeling peace moving up into your feet. Feeling peace on the top of your feet. Feeling peace moving up through your calcaneus, through your ankles, up into your shins and your calves. Feeling peace moving up into your knees. Peace and ease for your knees. That's for Pamela. Feeling that peace moving through your big muscles, your quads, your hamstrings, your glutes, and just giving praise and gratitude and thanks to your body for holding you up, for helping you to walk, for giving you strength. Feeling yourself standing strong in these legs. Good, and feeling that peace rising up into that pelvic bowl, that root chakra, feeling it moving up into your belly. If you're holding on to your belly like I am, let it go. Feeling that peace rising up into the belly button. Good, and up into your solar plexus, your upper belly. Feeling yourself really grounding into your power center. reminding yourself that when these foundational chakras are strong and balanced and feeling whole, you have a beautiful foundation upon which to build. Feeling strong in who you are, feeling strong that you create safety in your own body. Safety comes from within you, and it does not come externally from you. And as you feel that peace rising up through the rib cage, feel yourself getting a little taller. Sit up a little straighter. Feeling that peace moving up into your chest, into your heart space. Feel it spreading across your chest, your shoulders, down through the arms, past your forearms and into your hands. Just feeling your own energy, feeling the energy of the earth moving through your body. Good. And feeling that peace rising up into the shoulders and into the throat. Feeling that throat chakra activating. Recognizing that it is safe for you to be in your power. It is safe for you to be in your heart. It is safe for you to be in your throat, to speak your truth with clarity, with conciseness, with compassion. Good. And feeling that beautiful peace, the frequency of moving up into your jaw, past your mouth, past your nose, into your third eye. You are a visionary. And when you have a strong foundation, your vision can come into the physical manifestation more quickly, more easily. And as you move up, peace into the crown, to the top of the head, feeling peace spilling out through the top of your head, through the toroidal field, down through your aura, through your field, back down into the earth, peace rising up through the feet, feeling it in a continual circle through the body. Good. And now I invite you into openness. I am open. I invite you into curiosity. I am curious. I invite you into not knowing. There's nothing that I need to know here right now. I don't know. I am curious. I am open. Beautiful. And I invite you to the top of the head again, to the crown. I'm calling in source energy through the crown. Feel it, that beautiful liquid light moving down into your head. Feeling that beautiful source energy flowing in waves down into the skull, washing over your third eye, feeling it moving down through the throat and then pouring into the heart space. Feel source filling your body to overflow. Every cell in your body filling with source. I invite you here to notice that source is filling your body to overflow, pouring out the bottom of your feet, pouring into the earth, back up through the field to the top of the head in a continual stream, never ending. It is infinite. And I invite you to call in infinity, the infinity symbol, the figure 8. Feel it in front of you. Feel it in back of you. Feel it on either side of you. As you feel the infinity cutting any cords to any patterns that are no longer serving you. People, places, ideas, thoughts, feelings, emotions. Feeling it cutting cords to anything no longer serving you, feeling it moving out of your body with ease. As the infinite is continually flowing all around your body, within your body. You are infinite. You are an infinite being having a human experience with all of its beautiful polarity, and grief and joy, love and fear. And finding a way to continue to rise above it. And coming back to the top of the head, I invite you to call in the frequency of wealth. Liquid light pouring in through the top of the head. Just noticing the quality of this frequency, how it feels to you, how it feels in your body as it moves down through your skull and washes over your vision, your third eye. Holding that vision in that space between the brows. Beautiful. Feeling the frequency of wealth, mixing and mingling with the frequencies of peace and source, moving down past the nose, past the mouth. Feeling your ears filling with the frequency of wealth, your throat filling with the frequency of wealth. Pouring down into your chest, the frequency of wealth spreading across your chest, through the shoulders, down through the spine, the synovial fluid of the spine, filling with the frequency of wealth. Feeling it moving into the belly, into the organs, into your blood, into your bones, your bone marrow. Every cell of the body filling with the frequency of wealth. Good, feeling that frequency moving down through the pelvis, down through the legs, down into the feet and through the bottom of the feet, the frequency of wealth anchoring you into this planet. Noticing your crown wide open to the frequencies above you, noticing your body, the vessel, noticing how your body feels with these frequencies moving through it. Frequency of wealth moving out through the bottom of the feet, into the planet, back up again through the field, pouring in through the body to overflow. We have peace, ease, source, wealth, calling in the frequency of trust, noticing how tangible this feels to you. Trust, source, wealth, peace. Feeling the waves moving through you as these small shifts in frequency shift your frequency. Good. And notice how all of these frequencies start to feel on the outside of your skin. So, feeling the frequency seeping out of you as you start to emanate this frequency, this vibration into the universe, into the seen and the unseen world. Start to fill your whole field with this vibration, this frequency. You are emanating this frequency into the seen and the unseen world, feeling your heart emanating this frequency into the world. As you start to emanate this frequency into the universe, start small, your space, your community. People will start seeing your light in a different way. Maybe believing or thinking or knowing that as you emit this frequency into your community, more and more and more of the right people are seeing you, are matching to your frequency. Good. And feeling that beautiful expansion out into your state, your province, out across the country, continent that you live on. Feeling this frequency moving out further into the world across the oceans and out into other countries, filling the entire globe with this frequency. It's your signature. Good. As you feel wealth being amplified from you, as you feel trust, source, peace amplifying from you in your own unique way. Feeling that frequency emitting all the way out into the cosmos. And just enjoy the feeling of floating out there, knowing that you are connected to the planet and able to float freely in the cosmos. God, beautiful. And as you are just floating out there, visioning your vision, I invite you to connect with your third eye, connect with your vision. Your healing space, your retreat center, your vision of speaking on stage, your vision of becoming a well-known author, spiritual mentor, healer. Your vision of impacting thousands of people, maybe millions. Your vision of becoming a famous medium. Imagine limitless possibility. There's no reason to be realistic right now. Be as unrealistic as possible in your vision. And I invite you now to come back down into the body. Take your time. You've gone a really far distance. Beautiful. Imagine the sun shining on your face, feeling the warmth of being here on this planet, feeling your feet on the ground planted firmly. Spread your toes again. Feel your wide footprint on the planet. Feel yourself nourished and nurtured by this beautiful earth that we live upon. Feel the peace and ease continuing to rise up through your body as you continue to feel these frequencies flowing in through the top of your head, but with more awareness, just coming back into the body, coming back to the back of the eyes. Good. Feeling that infinity continually flowing all around your body. As you come back into the space, we open our eyes. And if you're like me, you won't be able to see very well. Put my glasses back on. Oh, I see someone in your lap. Someone come for a visit. Yeah. All right. How are we feeling? I'm like, I hope we are feeling fabulous. Amazing. I'm sure it's not because I hit buttons, Kayla. It's because I am moving my hands in a whatever way that I move my hands when I do meditation and do energy work. And there's like some sort of a thing on the computer that is like automatic. Like it's like if you do a thumbs up, it'll like do that. If you do a heart, it'll like do a heart. It's not doing it now, but I feel like I could see that when I was doing it.
Yeah, it happened twice, and I was like, oh.
Like, what's happening? Oh, it's the reaction button. Recognize hand gestures. I'm just going to turn that off because it really irritates me. So now it's off. But now you guys won't be able to have your hand gestures recognized either, but that's okay. I'll see you waving wildly if you really need my attention. All right, so I want to like land back into vision, right? Because vision is everything when we're thinking about entrepreneurship, when we're thinking about what we're doing and where we're going. And it relates back to numerology because everything that I do in my business all relates back to numerology, right? It all relates back to personal growth, spiritual growth. All of it is numerology. It's all emotional mastery. It's all energetic mastery. They all go so beautifully together. So, landing into vision. If anyone wants to speak their vision aloud, we are in a really nice space to speak vision out loud. So, please feel free to unmute yourself and say it out loud or pop it into the chat.
I'll unmute myself. I don't really have, well, I'm just going to say, so yesterday, what I wrote down,
Yep, great.
so my business has always been called Iron Dragonfly. So I was trying to think what will I call this when I put my essential oils, my, the tapping and my jewelry making. And so I just came up with who I am, my Alita Tweedale, Iron Dragonfly, and spiritual defender with all my spiritual things that I'm learning. I'm going on a retreat 1st of April. So that will hopefully enlighten more. And just all I can come up with is, which isn't all, I shouldn't say that, but peace, healing, and my crafts that I do, my jewelry and other things that I want to make from the land that we bought. And just stuff from the land. Hopefully lots of birds fly over and give me the owl feathers and the good feathers and the jewelry mixed into that. So, and women is just huge,
Beautiful.
to
I think you
share
have
from.
quite a vision.
Thank you. To share what I've learned with those before and get from, and just keep that flow of
Beautiful.
the young woman, the maiden, the crone. Yeah.
Beautiful. Beautiful. I love it.
Thanks.
See, I think that we're taught to say we're not creative, and we're programmed to say I don't have a vision. But really, we know. It just might seem like not enough, or it's not the right thing, or whatever. But if it's in your heart and it's in your mind, then it's enough. And it's the right thing for you and your people.
Yeah, and I can visualize it. I think I can more visualize where it's happening, and then the pieces, however that needs to work for me, each person, I suppose, differently.
Beautiful, Alita. Who's next?
So, Alita, at the end of what you said, did you say from maiden to crone?
Maiden, mother, crone.
Oh, gotcha. I was listening to you and I was a little distracted, but you were saying something about trying to find a new name for your business. Is that what you were talking about?
That's who I would want to reach, would be, just keep a flow going from the maiden. It just came to me that that's the women range that I want to reach, is maiden, mother, crone, because now I can relate to all three. So then it just came to me,
So
that's the maiden season,
yeah,
the mother and the crone with women. Yeah. Hi, Rosalie.
and from maiden to crone sounds to me like a really good name.
Oh, yeah. Maiden to crone. Thank you for that.
Something like that. You're welcome.
I
Jen,
know,
I
use
have
that
my vision.
together.
I
I
mean,
get
my
what you're
vision.
saying. Yep, I like
Yeah, I
that.
think that would be great. My vision is still, Jen, to do my rescue pets to rescue vets. And
Yes.
then I've added that I would also like to have a healthy relationship with a romantic partner as well.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Hold that vision, Misa. I love it.
I'll go.
Great. Thanks, Kayla.
So my vision is, of course, I want freedom, and I want to build my business to give me that freedom for me, my family. And I have to tell you, with everything that I was telling you in Boxer, This woman is a 10 of clubs, which is my ideal client.
Of course she is. I like knew that. I just like knew it in my heart. I was like, it's got to be the frequency of fame. She's got to be. She does. Yes.
So I'm really excited about that. Yeah. But yes, I want to build a healing business. I want to share and do walk into the mediumship stuff and
Yes.
with as many people as possible while still being able to support my family. So
I want you to claim, I will, I'm going to be supporting hundreds of people, or I'm going to be impacting hundreds and thousands of people through my mediumship,
I can do that.
through my readings. Yes. I want you to get real clear. You have a very specific, I feel like you have a very specific skill set that you're like focused on right now. And that it feels big for me, for you.
She's having a moment.
I mean, it's not a very big moment.
She's big. But yes, I claim that 100%.
Yes. Awesome. All right. Who's next?
I'll go next. But first of
Robin.
all, Kayla, quit telling people that you're not going to be a big deal. Quit putting that out into the universe and telling people I'm going to be the fucking biggest deal you've ever seen in my life.
Yes.
Because when Jen told you that way back when, my guides were like, yes, she is going to be a big fucking deal in this world. So quit telling the universe that you're not a big deal. You are a big deal.
Right.
Agreed.
Now you're just arguing with the universe when you do that, And pretty soon the universe is just going to go, okay, if that's what you want.
All right.
They're not going to argue with you. They're just going to give you what you want. So anyway, I digress. I want a healing center for like-minded practitioners to have a place to practice and for people to come and experience different modalities of healing and community. And I've added to it since yesterday, and make retirement money.
Yes.
So when I finally get it open, Kayla's going to be a big deal. And she's going to come and be part of my grand opening and do readings for people because she's going to be the draw into my center.
Love it.
I will definitely come and visit. I would love that.
She's gonna bring some folks with her.
Probably.
Love it, Robin. I love how it's becoming more and more and more clear and real in your mind. It's more detailed. It's more specific. It's great.
It doesn't scare me anymore.
Yes.
Like when we first started talking about it, I was like, oh my God, I can't, like my guides told me this is where you're headed, but my body would physically react. And now I'm like, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
The time is right. The building will be there. The people will be there. And it will happen.
I love it. It's amazing.
And just the whole crone thing, Alita, that's what my guides gave me of who I am. I'm a crone. And my website's called, or my Facebook is Journey with the Crone.
I love that. Awesome, Robin. I really love that.
Yay. Who's next? I love it. Rosalie, I see you.
Yeah, thank you. Glad to be here today. My vision is to live a masterpiece. And ideally that would be on the ocean front.
Yeah.
And then I would like to flourish as a shamanic guidance and artist.
Wonderful.
Shamanic guidance artist. I'm not quite sure of the wording.
You want to be a shamanic practitioner. Yes, guide. A goddess guide.
And then also really like embody my full artist and flourish in that.
Yes.
Incorporate both of them, right?
I feel like those two things are like coming together, like the helix for you.
Oh, love that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing with us.
Sure, happy to.
Miss Amy.
Mine's morphing a bit.
Yes. Cool. Love
Um,
that.
so I, as I mentioned yesterday, I want to spend my days living the path of joy. And then yesterday we talked about our ruling number and the our superpowers, and the advanced collective thinking really stood out to me. And I've also in the past said I want to live authentically, to give others permission to also live authentically. So to kind of morph all of that together, I want to help others live their path of joy, and have them help them realize it's not difficult, right? It's so
Yes.
easy. Yeah.
Yeah. So what I hear from you, this morphing is like you were really focused on I live my own path of joy. And now you're seeing that you will spread that to the collective consciousness.
Which is honestly what I've been doing and didn't even realize.
Exactly.
So yeah. So when I saw those words yesterday, I was like, oh,
Oh, hallelujah.
no wonder I do this. Yeah.
Right.
It was in my numbers.
It is. Isn't it so cool?
Yeah, it
Oh,
is.
I love it, Amy. It's beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. Barb, if you're available to speak, then please feel free to do so. If you're not available right now, no worries.
Oh, just dealing with some different tech stuff here.
Oh, fun, Barb.
So I'm just kind of getting settled in. Anyway, hi.
Hello. Good to see you.
Yeah, I don't know that I've got my.
That's okay. Did anything land for
shit
you
together.
overnight, or did not come to fruition for you overnight?
Well, I had to rush off, so I was in another circle last night, and I don't know. I mean, I do so many different things, and yet,
Well, you have variety. That you actually chose
I do.
that word of variety, didn't you?
That's true.
Variety is the spice of life for Barb.
And yet everything has its commonality.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Like things do gel together. And constantly learning, able to share bits of wisdom. It was a circle singing exercise of types, and there was something we did, an exercise that ties into the number, the 108, and the synchronicity of the 108, and with bringing in music, with bringing in beat, with bringing in rhythms, mixing of rhythms, and how we actually did, like, people were doing a voice, a step, and a hand motion within a count of 3, and then 5 and 7. And it took 108. We didn't know this, but the practitioner was saying, it takes 108 repetitions. And then we're kind of coming in and out with their voices and, creating this wonderful sort of audible differentiation. And at the 108th beat, it all comes right back. And we're all in synchronicity.
Cool. Amazing.
And I guess the 108. So anyway, I'm just, I'm still learning. I still feel like there's so much out there to learn. So this is sort of voice and vocal and bringing in your voice for healing sessions and whatnot. I just feel I'm still learning so much.
Well,
and whether or not
it's a great vision,
whether or not it's all going to gel, like, will I be a, sound healing practitioner
speaker or something?
You threw that in. Of course, what do? I go off on a tangent and there, who's this? Who's that? It's like,
well, I had a vision.
No.
I saw a vision. So I don't know. I just had to share it with you.
It's
and
like,
you can take it or leave it. Like, but I think that it's funny that then you also then went to like do all this vocal stuff it's clear to
Yes.
me that there's something about sharing your wisdom. So
Mhm.
we'll just hold space for your vision, sharing your wisdom, because you continue to be a lifelong learner. And
Yeah.
there's something in your throat there that wants to be shared. I can feel it from
Oh,
you.
yeah.
I know, I see you.
Yeah. And maybe that's what drew me to it. It's like, yeah,
Right?
creating that, getting
Beautiful.
that, whatever, still learning, still growing,
I love it.
still integrating.
Keep learning, Barb. It's great news.
That's why I'm here.
Great
I know
news.
she says she keeps coming back. What am I going to do with it? I'm living my life. I am living a very full, abundant, and oh, I think I've lost my sound again. What happened to you? No, I can't hear you. You're muted, Jen.
It muted me. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. I thought it was me, and I'm going, wait a minute. No, you get the little
Zoom
red mic.
muted me.
Okay.
I think maybe I did it to myself. I don't think I meant to, though. All right. Thank you, everyone, for sharing your vision. I invite you to land into something that feels good to you. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be like the forever thing. I don't want you to like get so attached to it that like it becomes the end all be all. But the vision, and in some of my work, I talk a lot about becoming the vision. So become the vision. This is how we become the vision, is by honing our vision, by thinking about our vision, by holding our vision, by writing our vision down regularly and being with it, right? This is not something that's like a one and done. Like we even people morphed overnight, right? Like your vision is morphing overnight. Um, my vision is similar to all of you. It's to impact thousands of people, maybe millions. I don't know, perhaps. And in that, living that path of joy and living that path of true self-love and self-actualization. I mean, I believe that that is really what we're all here talking about, right? Like maiden to crone, like where the wisdom that wants to be passed on. We're clearly all seekers, right? If you're here, you're a seeker, you're looking to improve yourself, and that inevitably ripples out into the world. And it helps to shift and change the landscape around us, right? As we change our own inner landscape, it shows up in our external world. That is universal law of correspondence. This is it. This is, how do we change the world outside? How do we end all of the wars outside of us? By ending our war within. And it sounds real, cheesy maybe, but it's true. Like, how do we change the world? It's by shifting ourselves. And that is really why I love numerology. And it's what numerology has done for me in my world, is to help me to live my chart. It's helped me to shift my frequency in just small ways so that I can be who I really came here to be. And so let's talk about our superpower. So what is your superpower? We did this at the very end of yesterday. So look up the superpower of your ruling number, find the best match for you, incorporate with your chart strength based on your dominant energy plane. So here's what I want you to do. So I'm going to and that's a lot of words. It's a lot of like gibberish, right? So what I want you to do right now is remind yourself of what plane is strongest for you, right? Alita, mental plane, right? Amy, you were physical plane, correct? Was that right?
I was both physical and emotional.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You had both. So write both of those down. You have both of those that are very strong for you. I have the arrow of practicality. So I'm really, my key to each plane, my predominant plane is my physical plane, right? Oh, sorry, I went to the next step. So let me come back to the energy assets. So Mental is about idea, vision, intellectual leadership. The energy asset for your emotional plane, that's that middle plane, was artistic, relationship, collaborative leadership. The bottom plane is physical, manufacturing, transportation, movement, leadership. And I want to clarify, because this kind of like, when I created this and like started working with this, movement leadership for me means like leading a movement, right? Like I want to create a movement and be a part of a movement. That is the leadership I'm speaking of. I don't think I mean like dance, like moving my body, although that could be part of it. But for me, it's about leading a movement. Yeah. Yes, Barb. Are you writing on the board again? We can't hear you though. I don't know if you see.
Sorry, the most, when I have that, so I annotate lets me do a screenshot as well. But then I can't get to my mute. There's probably another way to do it. But anyway, I wanted to ask you, and on the physical plane, I'm not quite sure I understand what you mean by manufacturing, transportation, those traits of
So manufacturing would
asset.
be like, I am good at creating something. I'm physically like creating a product, or, you know, a lot of people with this dominant physical trait will actually be producing something very physical in the 3D. So moving yourself around, traveling, right? Retreat leader. Like if I'm thinking about like bringing it sort of to the entrepreneurial world, it could really mean like I'm physically producing products. It could mean that I'm traveling. Like that's one of the ways that I see the transportation piece is like I'm traveling, I'm bringing my work into different places. Like I don't necessarily want a retreat center because I want to travel all over.
Okay.
Right? Like I'm going to go to Robin's, and then I'm going to go to Kayla's, and then I'm going to go to Rosalie's, and then I'm going to come over to Barb's, and right. So I'm like kind of moving around, and I'm moving my work out into the world. That's kind of how I see it. Does that resonate?
Yeah. Or going to retreats. I don't know.
Yeah, going to retreats is super fun.
I mean, I did one last October, and I'm going to do another one with one of those ladies again in August. So
right.
Anyway, that may be my next level of whatever.
Beautiful. Okay, so we've got our energy asset. So now we're looking at our ruling number, and you're picking out your keyword, right? So pick out a keyword. I picked out tangible outcome.
Sorry.
And Kayla, we're just using our ruling number to choose our keyword. Okay. And now we want to start to incorporate, right? So you want to think about your mental plane and your keyword from your number. How do they sort of match up together? Does somebody want to say an example for us?
I chose mental, it's mental plane, and I chose teacher because my ruling number is a 7.
Right, great. So you're in the intellectual leadership, you're in the visionary, yeah? And then you are a teacher. So you use innovation through action to express yourself, right? So this is your superpower. Think about your mental and teacher. Does that make sense for you? Does that feel like a superpower for you? Yeah. Amy, does that land for you? Tell us what you have.
Well, so there's a lot, right? So I've got emotional and physical being 3 numbers in each. So they're both equally tied. So emotional, artistic, relationships, collaborative leadership, physical, manufacturing, transportation, movement, leadership. And then my ruling number 9, finding meaning, serving humanity, advanced collective thinking. So a lot of relationships, a lot of collaborative words,
Mhm.
collaborative leadership. Okay. Collaborative,
Right.
advanced collective thinking, transportation. I love to travel. That's what I do in my free
Yeah.
time.
Will you just put in your birthday so I can just like play with you here?
You were cutting out. You want my birthday?
Yeah, I wish my thing wasn't cutting out.
February 12th, 2/12, 1975.
Think I would have this memorized by now, sister. Okay.
But I have always said I would love to travel around doing retreats to help people find their joy, to help people find the least resistant path to joy. Because I think people overcomplicate it. You're talking and we can't hear you. We can't hear you.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to turn off my microphone. It's being very fussy, obviously. Okay. So what's really interesting about your specific chart is that you have 3 numbers in the mental, you have 3 numbers in the emotional, and the way we would normally pick which one was stronger would be to use your ruling number, which is a 9, which is mental. So your 9 is not winning anything for us in the those bottom 2. And then your day number is a 3, which is also mental. So the way that I see you is really balanced between all 3 wisdom centers.
Oh, I like the way you say that. I was thinking really confused.
No, I think that what's really powerful about your chart is that you're very intuitive. You have this ability to see both sides of something. You have the arrow of, God, I always forget 159. I said it yesterday. It's the determination. You have the arrow of determination. You're very determined and ambitious as a human. And yet you have this really like easygoing, like laid back way of being. And I think it's because you are so balanced in all of your wisdom centers. And I believe for your vision, for the purpose of this exercise, I would really land into your 9 as your most powerful part of yourself because you are here to serve humanity. The 9 is a humanitarian. Then so like anytime that you feel into your energy, I would feel into, I am here to advance collective thinking. I believe that that is your true superpower, but you just have like you're just so overall well balanced. That's how I see you. That's your superpower.
Okay.
How does that feel?
That feels amazing. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. But I would lean into that piece of I am a humanitarian. I am here to advance collective thinking.
Okay.
And you do it through intuition, you do it through speaking, you do it through being physical, through being emotional and being mental. You got it all. I mean, you're like a little one spot, little package right there.
One man band.
Yeah, words didn't really come out very well.
One trick pony. No, wait.
You're a one trick pony. No. All right. Who else? Anyone else want to like chat about their spots, their one trick poniness? Yes.
I'm sorry, I had to pop off for a minute to go do something for work. So I'm not sure what we're talking about. I'm sorry.
Here, I'll catch you up in just a second, Robin. Go ahead. I was just gonna call on Rosalie.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm feeling like my superpower is simply my presence.
Yes.
And my word for both the 2 and the 11 was spiritual. And then when you bring it to 11, it adds the spiritual leadership. So yeah, so that's why I'm
You're the 11 too, is that right? Yeah, right. Yeah. So you're really wanting to, I would just for this purpose, like really lean into your 11.
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
that's your higher, it's like that's your really high side. And like, look at you, spiritual leadership, furthering enlightenment, gathering of groups, right? As the high priestess. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Does
And
that
my,
feel resonant?
yeah, that's good. My contract card is the 6 of clubs, which is
And your
the
6 of
vessel
clubs.
higher knowledge. And my day
Yeah.
is 10. So definitely I'm supposed to be leading, like
Yes, I
a bit.
agree with you. And I think that you've always been meant to be leading, Rosalie. And so there's something that's like, you're like, you're ready to lead. I'm like, let's just, yes, you're just ready to lead.
Get to it.
So just let us, just get to it, sister. Come on. We'll see you in there. Beautiful. Okay, Miss Robin. So what we were doing, we were just kind of checking back in with our last assignment from yesterday. So checking in with which plane was strongest for you, right? So you have the physical plane, yeah, as strongest for you. So movement, leading a movement, right? You're here to lead a movement. And then you are the 4 and you chose commitment. Is that right? Yeah.
Yes.
You're committed to leading a movement. This is your superpower. Your superpower is that you're devoted, committed to leading this movement. You're already in the works for a building. And even if that one building hasn't worked out for you yet, you know that this is coming. And so this is part of what is next for you. It's just being completely and utterly committed to where you're going. Yeah. True.
Yes. True.
Great. Anyone else want to play with that? Oopsie.
I know I'm a 7 and I know I'm on the physical plane, but I can't decide if I like teacher or innovation through action better.
Are you wanting to teach, or I see you as, I actually see you as a solution finder.
Yeah.
You kind of. I feel like when I see you, like the things that I see you doing, you're not necessarily teaching. I mean, you are, and you probably will ultimately land into that. Although I feel like what you're doing is you see a solution and then you express it to people. They
Yeah.
come to you with a relationship issue and you're like, well, I see that. That's real easy.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So, I mean, and I'm not, yeah, I don't want to pick for you, but like, that's kind of how I see you. And you did say innovation through action. So perhaps you are helping people to see how to innovate through the action of your words, right?
Yeah, that definitely resonates with me.
Yeah. And then what plane were you in? Your
Physical.
physical. Yeah. And that, I believe, so when I see you doing your work, you do a lot of things in person, physically. Did we lose Kayla? Oh, there you are. You're like going out in your community, you're like hosting things. And that to me is so physical. That's such the physical, like I'm leading something. I'm traveling around and going and meeting people. Your presence, like your physical presence is a huge superpower for you.
Okay. I like that.
Okay. Anyone else? Alita, did you get yours? We talked to you. I can't remember now. My brain is.
Yes, we did. I think mental and
I'm like,
teacher.
this
Yeah,
is
we
my
did
brain.
me first.
Good, great. Okay, I thought we did. Misa, did you want to say something, honey? I do not often call people honey online. Sorry if that offends you. That was a total mom moment. Excuse me. Excuse me while I call you honey. Okay. Misa, if you're available and you want to talk about that, please feel free to do so.
Sorry, I was walking a horse.
I know. I'm like, you're doing stuff. She's physically doing things.
Like, I can't get to my phone. Well, if I could have gotten to my phone, it would have been fine. But my phone was in the depths of my pocket, and I was
This
like,
is what
okay.
Misa does. She's like, I will be working on horses while I am talking to you.
Right. I will be doing whatever it is I'm supposed to be doing today while I do all the other things.
We know your superpower.
Oh my God. My superpower needs some energy. Needs a latte. But so yesterday I think I did freedom.
Okay.
What was I? It was freedom. It was a 3. Oh no. You can't do that right now. Sorry, the donkey was gonna join us. Freedom. Oh, you put it back up here. Okay, good. My memory is failing me. Oh, I did freedom, abundance, and no, I'm sorry. I did abundance and then expressing wisdom. But I feel like art is like starting, like art is really calling me now. So I don't know if that's gonna go in there too.
Perfect.
It's gonna be everything.
Just write all those things down when you're in a space to like really be with them, then you can like really land into those, right?
Yeah.
So
Thank
your
you.
how is your superpower, right? So the how is always the thing that most people really want to know. How am I going to do this? How am I going to have a retreat center? How am I going to become a spiritual mentor or whatever it is, right? Like, how am I going to actually do this? Well, your superpower is the thing that really tells you how. You're going to lead a physical movement. You're very physical, right? Or you're really emotional and you really need to be being creative and creating things and using your art, or you really need to be using that mental intellect. So that is your superpower. So land into that however you need to. You can use whatever words you want. You can use the words that I've got here, or you can use words that land better for you. So here is the key to each of our planes. Okay, so land into this part. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. I don't know if I can. Oh, there we go. Mental, make a plan. Emotional, receiving love, approval, acceptance, belonging. Physical, we look for financial results. We look for client count. We look for website clicks. This is so me, right? I want to look at all the data about like what's happening in my business, right? But if I was on the mental plane, Alita, you probably really need to write things out. You need to share information. You need to move your ideas forward. You need to advance your vision, right? So seeing the way that you are. So look at your plane and then pick out what really feels right for you here. For me, and I'm physical, financial results. I'm the 3 of diamonds also. So I'm the 3 of diamonds and I'm a 4. Like financial results and client count are really like my key motivators. And it may sound kind of crappy, and especially like the spiritual world that we live in, but it is something that shows me physically that things are working, that my business is working, that I'm making the impact that I desire to make. So I always know if I'm doing what I need to in my business, it shows up in my bank account. It shows up in the people that are showing up in my business. It shows up in my people, right? Like I'm very physical in that way. I love the emotional part because I love love and belonging, but I don't have as many things going on in that realm. I'm still loving. It's okay. And then tell me, does somebody have something that's landing for them?
So Jen, it's Misa.
Hi, Lisa.
Um, curious enough, I feel more connected to the emotional plane
Okay.
in these, even though I have no numbers in my emotional plane.
So
Because when I used to, sorry, go ahead.
So you're void of numbers. Yeah. So you have the arrow of hypersensitivity.
Yes.
And which one is your strongest? Which one do you have the most numbers in?
Mental.
Mental. Okay. But you feel most you feel most connected to emotional. And my guess is that's because you've been doing so much emotional work. And so you're starting to understand your area of sensitivity more clearly. Does that feel true for you?
I think so, because what I was going to say is when I worked at the police department, the thing they always asked everyone who started working there was how they like to receive like recognition and stuff like that. And mine was always more of that the
Approval.
praise and the approval and thing like that. But I started my spiritual work well, right around the time I started working at the police department. So I would have already been, I think, that because that was the first place I started working
one thing that's coming through for me is that if you're not receiving enough love, approval, or acceptance, or don't feel like you belong, you may have really deeply desired that.
Yeah, that could be too.
And sometimes when we're lacking in those numbers, all we want is to belong. All we want is external praise or external love or whatever, right? And so my curiosity is if that is playing out right here.
And I suppose it could be, although by the time I got to the police department, I felt like I had been in that environment with the city. So actually the city is where I learned how to truly be happy. Like I actually finally found people that I felt were genuinely happy. So I actually learned how to be that there before I went to the police department. But it's all right there in the same like first year.
Yeah.
But it makes sense because when I was in my masculine, when I was really in my 20s and I was really in my masculine, very career driven and all of that, I would have related more with the physical plane, even though, and I have two numbers there, but that would be where I would have related back then. So I see what you're saying. You said that yesterday to me too, that because of the work that I'm doing, my inner work, it will not necessarily make this quite as straight. So cool. Thank you.
And what I would also say about this is that lean into the mental plane and pick something from the mental plane that feels strong for you, like any of whatever they are. So like making a plan or writing out all the concepts and ideas. Pick something from that plane and focus on it. Because your key to each, because you want to have a key to your mental plane. It is where the majority of your numbers are. And so find the thing that does feel strong for you and like try and lean into it. Does that make sense?
It does. And I think there I would be, I looking at like the different businesses that have, I would say that when it comes to like the team, making a plan, writing out the concepts and ideas is something that I do, and like keeping track of them, so I do a lot of writing and stuff like that. So that makes sense. So I could
that is a key for you to your mental plane. That's what I would land into here.
Okay.
Yeah. Anybody else for these keys feel pretty strong?
I am in the mental category. It sounds funny. And mainly what sticks out is I have so many notebooks full and going. So I'm always writing. I'm always taking notes. And so I need to make my plan, write my vision, make it plain. And then I also need to advance that vision because I pretty much have it all written everywhere.
So now is your time to take action. This will help you to take action, I hope.
Okay.
Right. My hope is that this plan will actually help you to make an action plan, because your next step is that you have a vision. It's time to take a plan, take an action step, right? Like we'll never get to where we want to go if we don't actually take the action steps. you know, manifesting, the number one thing, the number one key to manifesting is taking action. So we can sit around and think about it all day long, but if we never take action on it, it will not actually come into the fruition that we want it to. The physical 3D right here, right now in the manifest, right? We want it to manifest in the physical 3D.
Okay.
Right? Like you already manifested your land.
Yep.
Right? You took
Yeah.
action. Now it's maybe now you can see that it's time to take action toward bringing
Okay.
your vision to the world.
Yep.
Yep.
That's right. I get
I
it.
like it.
Totally.
Cool. Okay. Where do you sabotage yourself? Which plane has the lowest amount of energy? Now, if you have a full block of energy that has 0 numbers, so perhaps there's a sabotage here, right? So notice where you have the lowest amount of energy. So for me, I have the lowest number of energy on both the mental and the emotional planes. Right? So my sabotage is that I often get into my head and I isolate myself, and then I go round and round and round and round and round in this like isolated 9 that I carry. So notice if you have any isolations in your chart. And isolation means that you have a number that's not touching any other numbers somewhere else on your tic-tac-toe board. Okay. So my isolated 9 right there. I'll make a great cult leader, said Joy to me many years ago. I was like, Joy, she's like, we know you'd make a great cult leader. Because I'm a 4 and then I have an isolated 9. An isolated 9 might mean that I become very overzealous about things or overly excited about things, but then I also isolate myself. Okay. It's that thing I do. It's where I go, oh, I need help. I need some help. I'm isolating myself. I'm not doing that thing. I'm hiding. I'm in the cave perpetually. Right. Okay. Anybody have any thoughts or ideas about this one? It's a good one.
Well, I'm curious because is this only your date of birth for this one?
Correct. Yeah. So this is your date of birth. It's your chart. Yeah. It's your little tic-tac-toe.
I am also a cult leader then.
Do you have an isolated 9?
Yeah.
Well, part of the cult leader problem was because I'm the emperor. So I'm a 4. You're an 11, which is also quite a leadership role. Yeah, you could probably also be a cult leader, Rosalie. Be careful.
I have a question. So I too have an isolated 9. I also have an isolated 7.
Okay.
So do I then go to the 7s to see where my challenges are, or no, because that's not my ruling number?
Yeah, you can totally go there to play and see.
Okay.
But I would also like, so the 7, the low side of the 7 would be like being sneaky, lying to yourself. Right? Like that would be a low side of the 7. That would be a way that you sabotage
Like
yourself.
indecision.
Indecision. Yes. Indecisiveness.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Uh-huh. And you know, there's no, like, these are just either perceived sabotages or ways that you actually do sabotage yourself. Like I totally hide. Like I think I might be really visible, and then I'll be like, my coach is like, you're hiding. Hello. Hey, you're hiding over there. And it's the thing I do. I go into the cave. I don't want to like be seen. It's hard to be like an online visibility like person and then be like, but I'm just gonna hang out on my couch in my cave in my bed, you know. So, okay. So anybody else have ideas or thoughts on that one?
So
So
what if we don't have any isolated numbers?
That's okay. So you don't have any isolated numbers, no worries. What which arrow, which air or which plane do you have the least amount of energy in?
Mental.
Mental. So you sabotage yourself by being in your head.
Absolutely.
You spin, you spin in your mind. You got no clarity sometimes. You're like, I don't know. Or you are like, oh my God, I'm just over here spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning. And you have a feedback loop that's never ending.
Or the word logical pops up and
Yes.
I can over logic myself.
Hell yeah. Absolutely. Yes.
You know, like
Yes.
I am a very logical person, and I can let that just, you know, like, oh, if I get this center, then what happens if I don't make money? What
Right.
happens, you know, like
To your
that,
detriment.
right.
Yeah. Perfect. So now we know that about ourselves, right? It's good.
Come on, you knew that about me for a long time.
I did know that about you for a long time. I can spot that from a million miles away. Alita, did you have a question?
I don't have any isolated numbers either, like Robin, but
Okay. No
my
problem.
emotional plane is empty.
Right. So we know that you have the arrow of hypersensitivity, which means that you are a natural channel, which is awesome, but also can sabotage the shit out of your life. Because why? You don't believe the information that's coming through for you. You question yourself incessantly. Right?
Yep.
Yeah. And so that is a sabotage. That is one of your sabotages.
Okay.
So as you can take personal responsibility for it and say, yeah, I do that. That's something
Okay.
I do. And then when you take personal responsibility for something that you do, you become much more aware of it much more quickly. So now the next time you're like questioning a download that's coming through that you know is right, the next time you question it, you say, huh, I see you. I see you, self, questioning that. No, I know that this is right. And I'm gonna take action on it now.
Okay. And then like Rosalie was saying about lack of emotional, like in the emotional, she relates to that.
Uh-huh.
And I was thinking, yeah, I do too, with lack of support, I've always felt.
Yes. Yeah. Amazing. Okay, anybody else want to say anything about that? Misa says, oh my God, that's so me. I totally doubt the information coming through. Yep.
So when you have, well, I have the isolated 3 ones in mine, and then my mental and my emotional are equal. So I know I'm very indecisive.
Uh-huh. Yeah. So you have, okay, so tell me again, you have isolated ones and you have 3.
Mhm.
And then you are mixed in your mental emotional.
Yeah, I have a 1 9 and 1 8.
So both mental and emotional are both a bit of a sabotage plane for you, meaning that you don't always trust your intuition. So, I mean, similar to what we've been saying, what I just said to Alita, and to then Misa like felt that truth for her as well. It's like you don't always trust what's coming through for you. I'm actually really low in my emotional plane as well. I want physical evidence that things are real, right? Like it's really challenging for me to and I'm very intuitive, but it's like, do I trust it? That's been like a huge part of my journey. I'm sure it's a big part of your journey as well. So recognizing that you have an 8, that is part of the emotional plane. And the 8 is infinite. The 8 is devotion. The 8 is commitment. So allow that 8 to really help you to be devoted to trusting what's coming through for you. I think that will be really helpful. And I feel like I hope that it's landing for you right now, the conversation that we're about to have after this.
Yeah, because I have those 2 7s in there too, so I think that ties into like the
It
intuition.
does. I have 2 7s too. Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
You're a natural spiritual teacher. You're naturally spiritually inclined. You have this devotion, and you don't always trust yourself to say that it's real and true.
Yeah.
And that's that's just part of your growth. It's part of your growth pattern.
I like it.
Yeah, me too. Anybody else have any blocks that they want to bring to the table?
I just have a quick question. At what point do you add in the spiritual plane or like your other numbers?
What do you mean? Oh, I lost you. Okay. Rosalie, I'm hoping that you'll come back. I don't see you now and I can't hear you.
She's frozen on my screen.
Oh, okay. Oh, there you
She
are.
is.
Gotcha.
Oh, I don't know what happened. It was
I
all
don't know.
good. Strange.
You were gone.
Yeah.
You broke it. You broke it.
You're back.
There. Oh, yeah. So I'm wondering, about the spiritual plane, because as a ruling 11, I'm aware of the spiritual plane.
You're
and
correct.
Yeah. I'm wondering at what point that comes into play.
I mean, like when you go through numerology and you like really land into that, like the spiritual plane is the space that we would use below the physical plane. We would put in the spiritual plane. And so, yes, your 11 would go in that space. Your 10, a 10 would go in that space. A 13 would go in that space. Right? Or a 12, not a 13. Although we do use 13 sometimes as a 4, right? The death card is the 13. It can translate to the 4, and that can just be a highly spiritual number, but in most numerology they don't utilize it. It just depends. But yeah, so the spiritual plane would be the next layer below. You would have the 10, the 11, and the 12. And we don't use it. I mean, in the practical numerology, we don't use it. But as you advance, you would probably start to think about it more. And you can just know that that's true for you. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, so I am going to move on to the next slide. So find the dominant energy on your chart, choose a list of assets to monitor. So dominant energy on your chart, you guys have already done all of this, right? So knowing that you are, whatever your mental, emotional, or spiritual is, right? The next thing I want you to do is we're going to just create a statement of alignment, a statement of intention. Okay. A statement of alignment is something from Mastering the Brain Game, which is a program that I've been teaching for many, many years. It is a program that Joy Kingsborough came up with, and Joy and Jonah came up with many, many years ago. I started, the first time I ever took it was 2016. I started teaching it in 2018. I have morphed the program into my new program called Sacred. And so it's taking pretty much just most of my body of work and putting it into a 12-week program. It's energy work. It's really landing into your vision. It's learning how to work with your triggers and your sabotages and all of the things, right? So you see how numerology absolutely 100% lines up with your emotional intelligence, your energetic intelligence, the way that you walk through the world, right? They all go hand in hand. And our statement of alignment is about our vision. It's about our why. It's about our superpowers. It's about the words that really land and ring true for you. So I'm going to come back up here. Okay, so we're finding those assets. We're finding those sabotages. We're finding our superpowers. We're finding our vision, okay? So your desire, what you want, all right? I'm going to give you a little example of my SOA, okay? So my SOA is, do I have it? Do I have it? There it is. It's up on my board. So my SOA says, I am a freedom seeking, adventure loving, transformational spiritual leader and coach who feels blissful, peaceful, giddy, and excited every day. This is a long one. Okay. As a result, I experience a business that impacts thousands of people while making millions of dollars and helping to shift the consciousness of the planet. I belong with wealth and wealth belongs with me. Now, I've had many, many SOAs over the year, but I'll tell you that the word freedom always stays with me. The word free adventure always stays with me. The fact that I am a loving transformational coach has always stayed with me. So what I'd like you to do here is to bring your vision and bring your why and write it down in your statement of alignment. I want you to think about one of those. I want you to take some of those words, like some of that dominant energy, right? So your mental plane, your emotional plane, your physical plane. Find something that feels like it lands for you. You guys have written all of these things down. So, and write your intention out. What is your intention? Who are you? What are you creating in your vision? What are you creating moving forward? Write it down. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be as pretty. Remember that I have like taught this and written this little statement down millions of times. So I am familiar with it. And if you have questions, feel free to unmute and ask me. And if you've taken the program, and you've done the statement of alignment before, see if you're in alignment with it still, if it still rings true for you. Well, who did we lose? I'm like, who did we lose? How's it feeling?
Well, at first I couldn't even come up with anything, so I'm getting somewhere at least, but it feels very incomplete.
Okay. Do you want to just say what you have?
Sure, I am an authentic, high-vibing light source living my path of joy, helping others see their path of joy, which raises the collective vibration.
Fantastic. Love it.
To start.
This is not for anyone but you,
Yeah.
right? So this is something that, like, for me, I write this down every day in my little notebook right here. I write it down twice a day and I sit with it and I use it for like prosperity work, for abundance work.
Gotcha.
So I write down my statement of alignment, my intention, my vision, right? Like, and I don't always write the whole thing down because it's a little too long. Mine is a little too wordy, right? So I just write it down every day and I sit with it. I be with it. I emanate it into the world as part of my energetic work. And so for me, it's me knowing who I am and it's me connecting to my vision daily. So it's not about it being like a thing that you're going to post online. It's not supposed to be perfect and beautiful. It's really just for you to know your vision, like to know who you are. Like you described it perfect. I feel like you described yourself exactly how we've been talking this whole time. Right? Anybody else?
I will.
Yeah.
Says I'm a sacred crone who celebrates the wisdom of age and knowledge. I commit to bring it into the world through community and healing. I will create a space that opens hearts and minds to peace, joy, love, and health. I commit to live my life woo AF and bring security to my retirement.
Beautiful. Yes. Love it. Great. I'm missing you.
I've decided I'm gonna steal from you, Amy. If I have to make a LLC for my business, it's gonna be called Woo AF.
I love it. Yes.
I'm still working on the license plate.
Love it. It's perfect. So good. Yeah, it just has to mean something for you, right? Anybody else want to say theirs?
It's a very rough draft.
Perfect.
Things were just coming to me so what I wrote is I am an authentic visionary. I'll have to look that up. Teaching you your own safe space to engage with the inner desire society has tried to diminish. As a result, I'm able to bring healing arts solutions to Maiden Mother Crone, guiding you on your own soul journey to stopped.
To enlightenment.
Enlightenment. There you go. True that.
I'm like, to
Where is it? Help. To
I
SOS.
love that for you. I love it. And visionary, Alita, visionary. A visionary is someone who has a big thought, has lots of ideas about how they want to see the world expand and unfold in front of them. A visionary holds big ideas. You hold big consciousness.
So is that good? I was struggling with, okay.
It's beautiful.
Okay, cool.
You are a beautiful visionary.
Thank you,
Embrace
Jen.
embrace the word. I am a visionary. When I learned that I was the four, I'm the emperor, I was like, aren't I like, no, I'm not here to do any of that. I'm not here to lead, no. And so, excuse my language, but I started saying, I am the motherfucking emperor. And I had a big hashtag, I am the motherfucking emperor. And I said it to myself every day because I didn't see myself as a leader. I didn't see myself in that way. And I mean, it's funny because really my parents were like, duh, of course you're like, you never stopped talking, number one. You were always the person who like brought all of the people together. I mean, regardless of what was going on in my life, that was always goodbye, Robin. I love you. I have a little quick offer. I will send it to you. Okay. Okay. Bye. She's like, see ya. So land into who you are, land into I am the visionary, I am the spiritual teacher, land into I am a leader, I am a leader of movements, I am an expresser of wisdom, I am the mentor, I am that person. I think that's like a big part of identity work, right? And that is part of holding the vision and becoming the person that you were born to be. Doesn't mean that you haven't been doing all of the things. It just means that you're continually expanding and growing into who you really are here to become, right? And you're her already. You are already her. But okay, so I hope that this is feeling good for you. Take this away and take time to land into who you are and what your vision is. And it's going to continue to expand. And that's normal. And especially in the personal and spiritual growth world, it's normal to continually be growing into who you are meant to be here to be, who you are meant to be, right? Like, who are you in the future? I think that's very natural. So I do want to offer something to you all. I am going to do an 8-day prosperity practice. So I call it Thrive and Prosper. The prosperity practice is something I started practicing with Joy and Megan many years ago, and I have really held on to it. And I love it. And I have whole notebooks full of prosperity practice because I think it's so energetically powerful. So it's going to be $111, 8 days. And I would love to invite you all to come and do it with me. We're going to just bring it'll be 8 days of wealth practices and energetics of wealth. So if that sounds like fun to you, I would love to have you. I will reach out to you individually as well. Or if you want to reach out to me, please feel free to do so. I don't have any special landing page or lead page. It's just me making an offer. So I know that I need to be doing it really regularly. And that means that probably all of you do too. So if that feels good to you, please let me know. I will be making other offers in the group as well. I have Sacred coming, but not until this prosperity practice is done. So I'm going to be offering Sacred, and that feels really exciting to me. That is a 12-week program. It is the emotional energetic mastery piece. You have lifetime access. Once you do it once with me, you can go through it many times with me. So if that is interesting to you, just listen and pay attention. Misa, the 5 is the Hierophant. absolutely. Rosalie, I am a bridge, helping to strengthen the spiritual divine into the physical human experience. Yes, beautiful. You are absolutely a bridge. You are the 211. You are a bridge. Awesome. Yep, that's the Hierophant, right? Good. Anybody have any other questions or thoughts before we finish this one up? No. I would love it if you came into the group and wrote your statement of alignment as best you can. There's not a super lot of people in there, so it's a private group. It's a safe space. If you want to come in and write your statement of alignment, I would love to see those. And otherwise, I just want to say thank you to you all for showing up for the past 2 days. I have had lots of fun. I love teaching this stuff. It's my favorite. And we can expect lots more master classes in this space. So, alrighty. Okay. I love you all. Mwah. Bye, everybody.